are very lucky today because we have got Jen Hansard and Jada Selner. And actually, in the comments area, I'd love to know how many of you are familiar with Jen and Jada. Give me a yes. Nope, not yet. Yes, nope, yes, yes. Big exclamations, no, 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 no's, nopes. You know of them? All right. So Jen and Jada, I am going to unmute yourselves. Hi, Jada.
Hi, Todd.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm sipping on my green smoothie right now for my little morning energy boost.
I thought I would dive into a smoothie today too, so I've got one ready as well. And Jen, you have yourself still muted on your computer, just so you know. Well, while we're waiting, Jada, where are you dialing in from today?
I am in Walnut Creek, California, so just 25 miles east of San Francisco. So anyone who's on the East Coast and it's cold and chilly, I might make you jealous with the blue skies and sunshine today. It's in the 70s.
Oh, I think you're probably warmer up there than we are down here in SoCal.
Wow. What is it in San Diego?
I think last check was like 60. It's just so overcast today.
Yeah, nope. Bright blue skies, sunshine.
And
we need Jen to join this rock star party.
I know. There we go. Jen, are you there? It says that you're here. See, this is the joys of technology.
This makes me think of Napoleon Dynamite.
Well, it was working fine before. All right, everybody, bear with us while we're dialing this in.
And for anyone who isn't familiar with Simple Green Smoothies, you can definitely browse at simplegreensmoothies.com and get a peek of what our website and our brand and feel is like while we get ready to share with you how to build your own tribe and brand ambassadors.
Yeah, Jen, I think is just logging out and going to log back in. But so for those of you, we do have people on here that are for the spirit of the day sipping on some green smoothies as well.
Yay!
Rachel has usually starts her day with some broccoli juice. That is
nice.
brave.
Cheers, Rachel. Got my mason jar full. Hello. It's Jen here.
Hey, Jen. Great to have you. Okay, so without further ado, because I like to kick these things off on start on time, so I'll do a quick little intro for Jen and Jada. So for those of you that are not familiar with Jen and Jada, they have in the last few years built up a massive following of people who are inspired to drink green smoothies. They are the entry-level drug for getting yourself healthy with the tribe that they built. And last year, they wrote a best-selling book, and to write a best-selling book in the basically kind of cooking recipe, nutrition space is exceptionally difficult. And I'm not talking about like a sort of fake best-selling book where you've reached the most obscure niche inside of Amazon.com. I mean like real publisher version, launching it with all the stresses that come along with that. But from afar, the thing that I appreciate the most about the two of these, both of them, is their passion for their niche and how much they spend on the back end of their business, because myself being privy to the behind the scenes stuff of what they do, is the amount of time and energy that they devote to really thinking about the offers and how they're going to kind of put something up there for community and how to best serve them is off the charts. And then thirdly is really just the brand look and feel. I mean, if you have not picked up, and I know many of you are not familiar with Jen and Jada, but their book, Simple Green Smoothies, it is an actual absolute visual masterpiece that they've created as well. So, but without further ado, Jen and Jada, I'm going to turn this whole show over to the two of you. So kick it off.
Thank you, Todd.
Absolutely.
So welcome, everyone. We are so excited to be here with you and get to share a little bit of behind the scenes of how we've built Simple Green Smoothies into a movement in under 4 years. It's been an amazing journey, and in no way has it been easy for either of us, so we definitely don't want to give you any false sense that like it's an easy thing to do, and I'm sure there's many times, maybe right now, where you really are struggling, and we are here to tell you that that's totally normal, and we hope that this next hour to hour and a half we can share with you a lot of good nuggets that you can take away with to take you to that next level. So our main topic is how to build tribes and brand ambassadors, and this is really the secret sauce to Simple Green Smoothies, and Jada and I have been super passionate about both of these areas, and we are going to go through step by step of how we've done this, the psychology behind it, and also the effects that happen when you focus on building your tribe and creating brand ambassadors. So we have 3 things that we hope that you're going to learn today. The first one is you're going to learn how to attract your dream clients. Number 2 is you're going to learn how to build your email list. And number 3, you're going to learn how to nurture your community. So these are the 3 things that we are going to go through in sections today. Jada and I will take turns talking and sharing what we've done in our business and also pull from other businesses that have inspired us to take us to that next level. And so where we are right now at Simple Green Smoothies, just so you kind of have an overview of who you're talking with, we are Jen and Jada. We are friends. We met in a mom's group in 2009, I guess 2009, 2010. 2008, Jen. 2008. Sorry, gosh. And so we had that connection from the beginning, but it wasn't until 2011 that we started working together. And so over the years, we've grown 2 businesses, and Simple Green Smoothies is the one that really took off. And right now, we have over 405,000 followers on Instagram, over 310,000 on Facebook. We've had over 30 million page views to our website, and on our email list, we have over 350,000 subscribers. And we have done with this all with heart, hustle, and just passion to get as many people addicted to drinking green smoothies as we can. And we've got Todd hooked already, so that's a huge step in the right direction.
It's a huge step in the right direction. And I wanted to jump in too quickly, and that is just to let everybody know that we will have questions as well at the end. So save those up, and when they're done, you can jump in and ask them some specifics as well. So I'll turn it back over.
And so the reason why we share these large numbers of where we are right now is because we're super proud of it and excited that we've done it and accomplished it and had fun while doing it. But we also want to make sure that you know that we are just like you, and we all start at 0. 0 followers and $0 is where we were when we started Simple Green Smoothies. Yeah, and just to kind of emphasize on that, we all start at 0, just like Jen said. We grew our following with no paid advertising, no affiliate cross promotions, no overly guest posting or anything. We really built this community in-house. And when we first started our first venture, Family Sponge, before we kind of swayed into Simple Green Smoothies, the only people that were commenting on our Facebook page, my mom, Joy Jonah, love this, like that is my mom, and Alex Castro is my cousin who is not even a parent or married with kids or anything like that. So just know that we all have to start at 0 and to just keep being consistent and putting your content out there to see if what you're putting out there is actually resonating with people. So I actually want to go into the first part that we want to talk about, which is attracting your tribe. And this is, like Jen said, our secret sauce. And so I want to kind of share how we really approach tribe building and how to make sure that you're attracting the right people into your business and your brand. So the first question that you always want to know is, who are they? Who are you most excited to serve? And to make sure that the person that you are talking to, that you're really clear on who they are. So with us at Simple Green Smoothies, we use words like you're a rock star, rock on, you're awesome. So our avatar, our dream client is actually someone who's much like us in their late 20s, early 30s, young mom. And so the voice that we use when we communicate with them is very clear, so that we're not, trying to speak to everyone, and that person, when they know that we're talking to them, they're raising their hand and like, yes, that's me. I'm a total rock star. And so here's an example of actually Jen and I, we created our own dream client customer avatar. Her name is Danny from Atlanta, Georgia, and I highly recommend that you get clear on the picture of who you're serving and who you're speaking to, and that is shared through the newsletter copy, social media copy, blog posts, that you're talking to that one specific person, and that you will start attracting them into your business and your brand. And we actually just looked on Pinterest to find our avatar. I think we were down to like 3 images, and this is the photographer artsy mama that we picked. So what does Ryan Gosling have to do with social media? I really like to look at the first place that you attract your tribe is the platform that you choose to communicate on. This is the free public domain where everyone is finding you. And I look at social media like a dance club. This is where you show all of your dance moves, and if you were to see Ryan Gosling in a dance club getting his dance on, and he was like, hey girl, if you want to get to know me, if you want to see my dance moves, you actually have to come to my house first. Like, that is a no-no. So the whole point of sharing valuable content on social media is so that people see you, trust you, like you, and know that they're attracted to your business and brand. And so using social media as the dance floor where you share your dance moves and don't try to force them to your blog right away. This is a mistake that we actually made, was once our website for Simple Green Smoothies was up, we would post a photo of a recipe, and we would say, if you want the full recipe, you have to come to our blog. And that's actually not how social media works. You want to provide the full recipe, the full value, the full content in social media. And so the next part is your blog is like your home. And so once you've showed them your moves on your dance floor, you're sharing valuable, helpful content in social media, then they're going to start to get curious and want to come to your website. And one thing that Jen did really well with designing our website was making our home feel very similar to the dance club that they're meeting us in social media. So having the squared images on our homepage so that they have that smooth transition to our home. And then third is the bedroom. And so this is your email list, and this is really the power of our business with 350,000 email subscribers, and that's what we want to share with you today, is how we actually grew our email list from 0 to 350,000 email subscribers by really focusing on creating valuable content where people felt safe enough to enter our bedroom with our free 30-day green smoothie challenge.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there for just a quick second, and I hope everyone absolutely loves the echo that I have today. But I just had to jump in because I have been around marketing and people teaching, not concepts exactly like we're talking about today with tribe building, but the metaphor that you've used with the bar, the home, and the bedroom, with what all of these components and how they link up is absolutely genius and so smart, so well done. And I'd love to hear people in the comments, if you've ever heard that, or if you haven't heard that before, how much that actually helps you think about the way that you should be engaging with your tribe. So give me yeses, or yeah. People are saying, yeah, it's brilliant. It's great. Love it, love it, love it. So anyways, turn it back over.
Yeah, thank you. And it would be really creepy if a guy was like, hey girl, you want to come to my bedroom, and you haven't actually taken them out on a date yet, which we're going to actually show you what our date looks like versus what other people do with their dates in a minute. So before I go into kind of the email list building, I also just wanted to share some social media hacks with you that we've used to build our Instagram following to over 400,000 followers. So I just want to share 3 quick hacks with you that you can apply in your own business. And I also want to just remind you that I really follow the philosophy of the singled out method, where just choose one social media platform and build the momentum there first before you add on more social media platforms. So we started with Instagram, and then once we built momentum, we added Facebook. Because when you're trying to have conversations in 3, 4, 5 different places, you're on Periscope, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, it's just too overwhelming as a business owner. And Jen and I are both moms with real lives and families that want to see us. And so we were really intentional on only focusing on one social media platform at a time. And then we strategically add more as our bandwidth and our team grows. So now I want to talk I'm sorry. Now I want to talk about the power of shout-outs, hashtags, and takeovers. So one Instagram thing that works for us really well is shout-outs. And a lot of people call this shout-out for shout-out. And so this is actually an example of someone that we gave a shout-out to. So my friend Samantha has an Instagram account, Yoga and Fitness, and she had 230 followers on her Instagram account. And one thing that I told her to do was like clean up her feed and make sure it's very niche specific, because the riches are in the niches when it comes to Instagram. So if you're yoga and fitness, all your photos should really tell that story. And Jen will talk about that in a little bit too. And then at this time, we had 90,000 followers on Instagram. And if you'll see the photo in that top middle, that's actually my friend who had 200 and something followers on Instagram. And we give her a shout out and say follow at Yoga and Fitness. And from that shout out, she went up to 2,000 followers. So that is the power of being able to build relationships with people that have a following that's bigger than yours. And a way to do this is actually making friendships, relationships in real life. People love to support people that they actually know. So although my friend couldn't really add value to us, she was a friend in real life that I was willing to show some love for her. So if any of you guys are going to the 90-day year event live in Las Vegas, that's a great way to build relationships with people that they just like you and just want to support what you're up to in the world. So shout out for shout out. The next is using hashtags. So the power of using hashtags in Instagram is so crucial for new people to follow you. So this isn't about creating some really unique, crazy, wild, out there hashtag. You're actually using these hashtags so other people will discover you. And one thing that Instagram does now is they have top post. And so they use the most popular photos and post the top 6 to 9 photos, and so new people can discover you when they're searching different hashtags. So 5 out of these 6 hashtags, we actually reached the top photo with this image. And because it's an anthropology mug, I also use the anthropology hashtag. And anthropology has hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and actually saw our photo and asked if they could feature it and share it on their page. So that's kind of the power of using hashtags, is so other people can discover your work. And then the third is IG takeovers. So this is when you cross-promote with someone. Usually you do it with someone who has closer amount of following to you. So our friends at 100 Days of Real Food, they have over 2 million Facebook fans, but their Instagram following is a lot lower. And we have more Instagram fans and a lower Facebook fans, so we're able to swap with each other. So what we did was they took over our Instagram feed and we took over theirs. So as you see here on 100 Days of Real Food, this is us posting and sharing and having them come and follow us. And then we did it in return for them on our Simple Green Smoothies Instagram profile. We give a shout out to 100 Days of Real Food. So it's a great way to cross-pollinate, cross-promote each other's followers and share each other's audiences. And this is the same thing as if you were guest posting on a blog post. You're just doing it in a micro way on social media. And before we move on, I also just want to share kind of some of the Instagram tools that we use. One is Postso, but you actually can't use Postso. I think they don't use Instagram anymore. So another one would be Meet Edgar or also Hootsuite. And we also started using Social Oomph because you can actually schedule posts in Facebook groups with it and not have the little Hootsuite name on there. So, and then also what we use is Iconosquare for checking stats and our most popular post, and Social Rank. So this is kind of us a behind-the-scenes peek of what Instagram looks like for Iconosquare. And you'll see something here is that our most liked photos always have pieces of red in it or a quote. And so that gives us a lot of feedback of like, we need to share more recipes with red in it. And something also through Facebook is you can start seeing what are your most popular, your most liked, your most shared, your most commented on posts, and do more of that. I always say double down on what's working and stop what's not.
I like that one. Did you guys catch that? Double down on what's working and stop doing what's not. And it's really hard to stop doing something, but it frees you up to focus on things that are actually going to take you further. So I love that you shared that, Jada. All right, now I would love to move on to the next section, which is going to talk a little bit about brand ambassadors, and that's something that Jada and I both have been really excited to see happen with Simple Green Smoothies. And first, I wanted to let you know that there's two ways to look at what you're doing. You can see yourself as a business, or you can see yourself as a brand. And the difference is a business has paying customers, whereas a brand has ambassadors. And so if you want to position yourself as a business, then you're in the business for transactions. Like your goal is to make money and just money change hands in exchange for some product or service. But if you're in the business to become a brand, then you're going to create ambassadors around that. And they're going to spread the word of what you're doing, what your products are, to people naturally. And you get exponential growth for free if you go this route. And we are a great case study for that. So I kind of want to break down what we did at the time from deciding to not just become a business, but to position ourselves as a brand when we're just starting out. So the first thing you need to do is you need to understand the current market. So whether you're a health coach or a business coach or creating a new water bottle design, whatever you're doing, it's really important to study what's going on out there. And I don't want you to do this as a way to become like them, because I've seen that a lot. Like people, when you're starting your business, you see the most amazing brand out there that you want to imitate and be just like them. But I want to challenge you right now to not do that. Just study them, see what they're doing, see what's around you, just so you know what you're up against. And so for us, when we started in 2012 for Simple Green Smoothies, the people we were up against was the Green Smoothie Girl. She was one of the top SEO websites for green smoothie recipes. And this is her website. And another one was Incredible Smoothies. And so these people were crushing it online in the green smoothie world. And Jada and I were like admiring them and like we're hoping like one day we can have a business that reaches as many people's lives as theirs is doing. But I didn't want to be like them. So now I want you to think about how are you different? Now that you know who your market is, it's time to think about how are you different from them and own that. And don't think it means you're less than them or just not equipped or like it's not worth your time to go into business because you can't be just like them. Use what you think is your weakness to actually be your strength. And Jada and I did that because the two girls that were into the green smoothie world were nutritionists. They had health backgrounds and nutrition backgrounds. Jada and I were just two stay-at-home moms who were trying to lose some weight and get more energy. Like that was as far as our nutritional background went. But we owned that, and like that's part of what we built our brand around. So once you understand your market, you can begin to position yourself in a way to actually change the market. So now you need to think about what do you want to be known for? And Jada and I branched on to the fact that we wanted to be known as two real, authentic moms who believe that we could change the world and your health by one green smoothie at a time. And don't limit yourself to who you are at that moment either, because one of the things is Jada and I were actually two stay-at-home moms who worked in our pajamas and were making no money. So if we built our brand and our business around like that, we wouldn't be where we are today, but we built it off of the dream of who we were going to become. And we knew we could create a world-changing business if we like laid down the foundation of figuring out how we were different, who our market was, and then taking ourselves to this next level and actually getting out of the box of our current market and changing what's going on. So to do that is what I'm going to take you through next. And that's where you're supposed to, or I would love for you to take some time and look at brands that have thriving communities and that have gone above and beyond in the world. And one of those for us in 2011, 2012 was Starbucks, because they were a coffee company. There's thousands of coffee companies out there and coffee shops, but they did it differently. They elevated the price of their coffee. They gave you an experience. They totally took a market that existed and changed it and became this power-changing, world-changing company because of that. And so I look at them, and I spent time studying them. I'm like, what did they do, and what can I do based on what they've done? And part of it is definitely visual, because people are attracted to visuals. Another company that's done a great job out of it is Tom's Shoes. And so they've created a movement out of a pair of shoes. So it's really just a product, but they've made it more than that. And their community knows what they stand for. And they've been able to become not just another shoe company, but they've created a whole new market of shoes and products that are out there now with this one-for-one model. And so we took these two brands that we admired hugely that had nothing to do with green smoothies, but actually found a way to create our brand and our brand ambassadors around it. And that's how we created our website, Simple Green Smoothies. So don't stick with your market when you're trying to figure out how to position yourself and who you want to become, but look beyond that and reach out and get inspiration from other people and just pull it back into who you want to become. Okay, so now I want to go into brand strategies, so which has to do with brand ambassadors. If you're trying to create a tribe of people, they need to know what they're a part of, and they need to speak your language, which Jada shared with you before, like we say rock star and oh, hell yeah. And these are words that our community knows. And so the same thing is true with every image that you share. And as you're building up your tribe, you need to make sure that every photo is telling the same story so that they're familiar with it. They know what to expect, and they know what they're a part of. And so here we have images that I just pulled from Instagram that every photo has something to do with green smoothies, even if it's a 30-day challenge photo or just random storing green smoothies on the go. But everything we do pulls back to a simple green smoothie. Another company that's doing that is Stumptown Coffee. So they have coffee shops all over now, and every photo they have on Instagram, if you go and study them, it pulls back to either coffee or their coffee shop or something within that. So they're not just sharing pictures of their kids or their family, like behind the scenes. They're being very intentional with what they're sharing so that when people find them on Instagram, they know what they're about, they know they're there to get good coffee, and they can become a part of that. Another example is Virgin Airlines. They've done that with their Instagram account too. Everything has to do with travel, has to do with airplanes. And then there's Tom's Shoes, which is, I always come back to them because they definitely were a huge inspiration for Jada and I. So they've got their shoes, they've got their coffee, but every photo on your social media should tell the story of your core message. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. It's sometimes you have to delete the fugly. So even if it's telling the story, but it's not telling it in the way that you created your brand to be, go back and delete it. That's okay. We do that all the time. And sometimes we'll even get the itch to share a photo. Like I did it last year. It was my husband's and my, well, 2 years ago. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary. And I was really excited about it. And so I put it on our Instagram account. And it had nothing to do with green smoothies whatsoever. So we left it up for a couple days so I could celebrate it and people could be inspired and just cheer me on, which was great. But then we deleted it. So if it's not telling your core brand story, who you are as a business, or it visually just isn't holding up, delete it. Say goodbye to it. And I don't want to overwhelm you and make you think that you have to start taking photos that are incredible from the very beginning, because I know we all have budgets. We can't all buy a $5,000 camera or hire someone right off the bat. But I do want to show you like where we came from. Like we started using an iPhone 3. Like that's Jada's first Instagram photos. Like, well, not, this isn't the very first one, but early on, like she was taking them with her iPhone 3. And it worked. Like we grew our community through that. And then I moved on to invest in a basic SLR camera, which is the middle photo. And we were able to take our photos and brand to that next level. And then about a year and a half ago, we hired a professional photographer to work with us. And now our imagery has gone to that next level. So don't assume or feel that if you aren't at that top level when you begin, that you're not going to succeed, because we've done it from the very beginning, starting with what we could do and working our way up. So that's hopeful, I hope, for you. And then also, when you are telling your core brand message in every visual, it's also important that all the copy that you're including relates back to it as well. Like, you want to make it very simple for your community or new people to know what your business is about. And so in our posts, we share a free green smoothie recipe every single day. And so we'll have a photo of the recipe, and then in the copy, we'll write out the exact measurements that they need to make it. So it's very clear what we do every single day. All right, brand strategy number 2 is something that we've learned over time when we were doing, like we always reflect back on our stats and pull them up and see what's working and what's not. And one thing that always works well for us is complementary colors. These are the photos that have complementary colors that are just radiating in them, and they're the ones that always get the most amount of likes. And so if you're not quite sure what complementary colors are, I'm going to break it down for you quickly. Purple and yellow are 2 of them. You can think of the Lakers. It's usually sports teams have these colors. Right, Todd? Am I a sports man?
Yes. And in fact, on the red side of things, they did I talk about this all the time to athletes, when they did a study on Olympic boxing. 69% or 70% of all of the boxing matches ever fought at the Olympics were won by whoever was in the red corner.
Oh, wow.
So in red, psychologically we think that it's because red is an intimidating color, or, and it does. And then we've pulled that analysis even into like sports teams that wear red, and typically teams that wear the red will have a higher likelihood of winning the game. Anyways.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, so complementary colors. You got purple and yellows together, greens and reds, and then also blues and oranges. So when you put them together, they just create a vibrancy and an energy that you can't get with other colors mixed. So these are the ones that pop out when you're scrolling through Instagram, and will get people to double tap or to slow down and see what's going on. So that's something to keep in mind for you. All right, and brand strategy number 3 for growing your brand ambassadors is you need to see what your dream customers' brand crushes are doing and show up to the party. So what do I mean by this? What are your dream customers' brand crushes? So I'll go back quickly to talk about Danny, our avatar that we created. When we figured out who Danny was, we figured out who she was crushing on. And one of those brands was Starbucks. So she loves Starbucks just as much as I love Starbucks. And so what we do is we follow the brands that our avatar admires as well. And we have a guy on our team named Dan who mentioned, I think it was in August, that Starbucks was releasing their pumpkin spice latte extra early. And he knew what hashtag they were using because he worked at Barnes & Noble Starbucks, and he had a friend who worked at Starbucks too. So I had a little bit of insider knowledge to help us with this. So as soon as we knew the day that they were going to release the pumpkin spice latte, which was insanely early, I think it was like end of August, it was still like 95 degrees out, and they started talking about pumpkin spice lattes. But we jumped on Instagram and Facebook that exact same day, used the hashtag, and started sharing our pumpkin spice green smoothie recipe. And just like Jada shared with you how you can get trending on Instagram by being one of the top posts, that's exactly what happened to us that day. We had an insane amount of likes. We got lots of comments on it. People were so excited. And it was one of those moves that we knew was a game changer for us. And it's something we constantly do now, like with Anthropology, we're trying it, and things like that.
That's awesome, Jen. So now that you know how to attract your tribe, it's really important to also build your list. And this is kind of the next part of our framework is you attract your tribe, and then you want to build your list with an incredible opt-in. So we're going to dive into this list building strategy, and hopefully that you can apply it into your own business. And if you guys have any questions bubbling up as we continue to share, please definitely give us questions because we love answering them. So A lot of people start out with ebooks for their free opt-in, and we were no different. We started out with our 5 simple, healthy green smoothie recipes ebook, and when we launched our website in November of 2012, we had this as our free opt-in. And at this time, we had 30,000 followers on Instagram, and 2,000 people signed up from our email list. So what I like to call an ebook is like that cheap date when someone takes you to like McDonald's or to Chick-fil-A or something like that. And ebook versus challenge, which we want to kind of dive deep into and kind of get your wheels turning on how a challenge could work for your business and your brand, is more like you are courting your community. And so we got 2,000 followers with our free ebook, and with our 30-day green smoothie challenge, we had over 200,000 followers in the first year. So it's really important to make your free opt-in better than someone's paid offer. And the reason that I share this is our 30-day green smoothie challenge is not this quick PDF that you just make and then send it. It's a highly engaged interaction that we have with our community, and it's for an extended amount of time. So with an ebook, you download it, you hope they read it, and you hope that they still love and admire your brand. But with a challenge, our team takes time to prep each challenge and really comment and engage with our community. And when Jen and I first did this challenge in January 2013, it was just me and Jen. So just know you can start from anywhere. And the power of a challenge, why a challenge works so well, is it draws people into an experience of transformation without a financial investment right out the door. And for us, when Jen and I did our first challenge, we're like, this was really good. Like, this was high quality. We should probably charge for our next challenge. And we really considered charging for our free 30-day green smoothie challenge, but we went against that because, again, you want to make your free opt-in better than someone's paid offer. So keep it for free because it allows people to experience your brand, experience you as a person behind your brand, and see if they actually want to invest money down the line. It also makes it really great for a word-of-mouth marketing. If we were to say, if someone was to sign up for our challenge, they trusted us, they've been following us on social media for a while, and then they invite a friend and say, hey, do you want to sign up for this 30-day green smoothie challenge? It's $15. And they're like, no, I don't want to drink grass for 30 days and pay $15. But when someone says, hey, do you want to sign up for a 30-day green smoothie challenge? It's free. That person, it's an easy yes because they have nothing to lose. And so it allows you to bring more people into your door that wouldn't normally say yes to learning more about your business and your brand. Another reason why challenges work so well is it creates community and accountability. So we do this live and in real time because not only does it create urgency and build up that something's coming soon with a start date, but it also creates this accountability that we're all in this together. We're cheering each other on. We're committed from January 1st to January 30th, and that commitment is actually what's going to get people the transformation. And the third thing is it establishes authority for your brand. Like with 30-day green smoothie challenge, that is what we are known for. We've been doing it since January 2013, and we do 4 a year, and we repeat it over and over again. So some of the results that we've had and that you can expect to have in having your own challenge is massive community growth. It's just something that people like to engage in and be a part of. It also creates brand allegiance with that enthusiastic word-of-mouth marketing like I talked about. And I think the part that people miss is that it primes your community to actually buy from you because you're courting this relationship long term, that you're having many opportunities to put your offer, your product, your service in front of your audience while you're sharing this free transformative experience with them. So this is just kind of the proof of our email list growth in a year. Jen actually pulled this together, and it was super sweet to see that in December 2012 is when we had our 2,000 followers, and then when we did our first free 30-day green smoothie challenge, we had 30,000 followers on our email list. And we'll see our next challenge happened in April, and we went up to over 60,000 followers. And then we did another one in July and went up to 80,000 followers. and then another one in October, and another one in January. And so this is how our email list took off, again, with no paid advertising, no affiliates, no guest posts. This is all in-house, and this really gives you control of how you communicate and connect with your audience instead of depending on other people to fuel customers into your business.
Mm-hmm. And for us, part of the goal of doing our challenge was to grow this email list. Like, we wanted people coming into our place, and our email list is the one that you can have full ownership of, you're in control of. I know for a long time we've heard, like, Facebook isn't ours, like it could go away whenever. So we were always super adamant about bringing people to our list. So it's really important that whether you are doing an ebook or doing a free challenge like we do, whatever you're doing, make sure you're sharing this opt-in everywhere so you can bring these leads into your email list. So now I want to show you a couple ways that Jada and I have done this with Simple Green Smoothies. And the first one is through Facebook. On your Facebook landing page, we strongly suggest having your background photo be treated like a billboard. So it's just like you're driving down the freeway and it's something that's catching your eye. That's exactly what's happening to people who don't know who you are but stumble across your Facebook page. So that billboard or Facebook banner image is super important to have it actually tell them something. So some key aspects that you need to include on it are letting them know what your free offer is and how they can actually join it. So for ours, we write that the 30-day green smoothie challenge, and then we even write the words, click here to join us. And once they click on that part or any part of the image actually, it takes them to the pop-up of the window in Facebook. And then you have copy on the right where we include not only a little more information about the challenge, but we give them a link to sign up for it so they can automatically, super quickly join our challenge by clicking that link, putting in their email address, they're in for our next free 30-day challenge. So don't miss the opportunity to treat your Facebook background image as a billboard. And then this is another way we've done it, is just through Facebook posting. As our challenge gets nearer, usually about 5 days before, we really amp up promoting because a lot of people are procrastinators. They like to wait to the last minute to join something before they can talk themselves out of it. So really start pushing your challenge or your ebook, if it's somehow time sensitive, 5 days before it goes live. And so this is what we did for this example. 30 days, 30 ways. Are you in? Join our free 30-day challenge. And of course, we have the link within the copy on Facebook. And then when they go to that link from Facebook or even on Instagram, if we're adding it to our bio part, it'll take them to our 30-day challenge landing page. And this page does not have a sidebar banner with ads or other websites or blog posts they could check out. All it is very simple, all about our 30-day challenge. And we have a video that welcomes them in so they can see who we are. We tell them to join us for our free 30-day challenge. They can watch it, get to know us a little bit if they're not too sure about what we're doing. And then on the right, they can enter their name and their email and click I'm in, and then they're on the list, signed up for the next challenge. And then the last, well, two more ways is on our homepage. We also, like, our 30-day challenge opt-in is everywhere, you guys. Like, don't think you have to take it easy. Like, go all out. So on our homepage, underneath our banner image, which also happens to be about the 30-day challenge, we also have another opt-in that they can just put in their name and email right there without going to the landing page for the challenge, and they can opt in this way as well. And then if they've gone to a page on our blog post and haven't gone through our homepage or landed on the 30-day challenge page yet, but they found us through maybe like a coconut oil article or a blender demo, we have this pop-up opt-in that shows up and puts it right in their face like, hey, we have a free 30-day challenge going on, sign up here. So no matter where they're coming into us from, we're always trying to tell them about our free 30-day challenge, and it has done such a great job at growing our numbers through our email list. Am I talking about it? Okay.
Yeah, I can totally do this. So now we want to talk a little bit about creating the actual challenge content and just give you a sneak peek into ours so that it can kind of show you how simple and easy it actually is. And for us, we send free shopping lists, free recipes, a little intro tip, hey, how are you doing, cheering you on, and that's really it. So we send a shopping list once a week during our free 30-day green smoothie challenge and give them up to 5 recipes for the week so that they're taken care of and taking out all of the guesswork. So this is just a little sneak peek of what we send to our community when they sign up for our email list. This is what they receive once a week during our free 30-day green smoothie challenge. And we include the recipes, and then we also include a shopping list. And that is the value add. It's really that simple of content that we're sharing during our free 30-day challenge. And creating this this shopping list gives people an incentive to actually want to opt in for your list versus just following along on Instagram and Facebook. Because we are sharing our free recipes during our challenges on Instagram and Facebook so people can get to know us. But if they want shopping lists to prepare them each week, they would have to enter their email and opt into our email list. Another thing that we like to do is incentivize them and also prime them to buy. So this is a great thing that you can add into your own challenges, is actually being able to do a giveaway during your challenge. So something that we do is, our blender plus our book is an example, because those are the type of people that are going to really, someone who wants a blender or a green smoothie recipe book is someone who's actually going to want to buy other products from us. We're really attracting the right type of person that wants more green smoothie recipes, more healthy recipes. And so when we were promoting our book, we had a blender and a book, but we also, we have a 7-day detox product that we're creating right now. So our next challenge will actually give away a blender and our free 7-day detox product that we're creating. So this is an opportunity for you to actually do a challenge and a giveaway while you're doing that challenge to not only get people excited to want to participate in the challenge because they might win, a $400 or $500 blender, but also it gives them a sneak peek at what are the products that you have to offer to sell. And so they start learning about it early on during the challenge. And I just want to show you kind of the journey of the tools that we've used to actually do our 30-day green smoothie challenges. So when Jen and I did our first challenge, we used MailChimp. It was free at 2,000 or less email subscribers, and eJunkie, which I like to call eJanky, it's the jankiness, payment processing system. But that's what we used when we first started as 2 broke stay-at-home moms. And then once our business started generating revenue, we were able to upgrade to Entreport and then Authorize.net. And today, because we love branding so much and making the visual, mobile-friendly experience a part of our business and our brand to really take care of our community, we now use Autopilot HQ with Shopify because it's just so mobile responsive. And we always have PayPal as an option when we're selling products because it's an easy yes for people who don't want to grab their credit card and can just enter their email and their PayPal password and give you money, which is always a good thing when you're selling things that are actually changing people's lives.
Yes. Okay, so we've walked you through how we do our 30-day green smoothie challenge, and now we want to kind of walk you through doing your own challenge and step-by-step of what it takes to do it. So we have a couple exercises we want you to either think about or write down what we're proposing in these steps so that you can do it on your own and brainstorm and create some sort of challenge that can drive your list and build your community and create brand ambassadors out of this insanely awesome free challenge. So step 1, excuse me, is that you need to pick something that is intrinsic to your core brand message. So make it a super small win for them too. That's easy for them to do. So whatever your business model is based around, that is what you want your challenge to be about as well. So green smoothies, we're simple green smoothies. Our challenge is going to be a green smoothie challenge. But you don't want to make it a challenge that is super complicated for them to do. So you want it to be where they are going to succeed and win in this. It's not, the bar isn't too high. So think about what simple action step can they do to move themselves closer to a transformation. Okay, so now we're going to have you map out your own challenge and think about these 3 simple steps that they can do to move them closer to that transformation. So one of them for us is they need to blend a daily green smoothie. They need to get a blender first. They need to go shopping. Like, these are things that in order to succeed in the green smoothie world, they need to learn how to buy their ingredients. They need to learn what tools they need to use to make the best green smoothie. And then they need to do it every day.
And I'm just going to jump in here real quick too. What's funny about this is most people who are familiar with me know my story of working with Jim Rohn, who is very famous in the kind of business philosophy and speaking space. And when I met him for the first time and didn't know who he was, I had mentioned that I really wanted to get into the kind of speaking or thought leadership space, and I was 22 years old, and he gave me 3 steps. He gave me a challenge, and they were the 3 action steps I would need to take in order to kind of get started on that. And one was I needed to go and register my a business name at City Hall, because that's where you go and do it in Canada. And then second was, or one place you go do it in Canada. And then second was I needed to go to the bank and open up a business banking account. And then the third thing was, and you can't do a business bank account unless you have the business name. And then the third one was contact 2 friends or people that I know that would bring me in to talk about or do a workshop on the topic that I had won an award on. And I basically had gone and done those 3 things by 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the Monday, when I could actually go out and do that, when I met him 2 days earlier. And that is what actually got me to be mentored by Jim for 13 years. Mm. So, I mean, we're talking about it right now in the context of, what we can go and deliver to our customers. But these concepts can be interlaced across so many other parts of your business. So even now, today, for athletes, because I get reached out to probably 50 times a week from athletes around the world, when I know I've got a little bit of time in my next couple of months, and I can take someone underneath my wing to mentor them, because now I mentor athletes for free, I give them challenges to go do. And it's shocking how many people don't follow through.
That's amazing.
So anyways, it's just funny how these concepts can be completely taken out of this world that you're talking about right here, but you can overlay them in other parts of your business as well that only help them out.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Okay, so you understand the importance now of this 3-step process, because it not only worked for us, but it worked for Todd Herman, so it's definitely powerful. Okay, and then step 2 of creating a challenge is you need to set the length of time that it runs for. And to create or figure out how long it needs to go, you really need to think about how long is it going to take them to get the transformation. And that is the amount of time you want to set for the challenge. So for us, our goal was to make people daily green smoothie drinkers. We wanted them hooked on it and something that they couldn't live without and make it a habit. And so 21 days is what it takes to make a habit, but we know as busy moms that sometimes we need even more than that. And so we wanted to push it to 30 days so that there was no way out of this. They will be hooked on it for life. And so that is where the 30-day green smoothie challenge came from. But if your community can get results in one day, one afternoon like Todd did, or if it's 5 days, 10 days, whatever it takes is what you need to set it for. And then step 3 is you need to create the landing page with a clear call to action. And if you can think back to where I showed you the 30-day green smoothie page, how we don't have it it's not a blog post, and we don't have a sidebar with ads or anything to distract them. We keep it very simple and clear so they know what the call to action is. And it's to sign up to join the challenge. You really want them to sign up and get on your email list. And you definitely want to make sure you let them know that it's free, because free drives a lot of people to sign up because they're like, what's there to lose? So make sure you call that out and let them know. And then the next step is you need to create your challenge content and decide what's the best way for your community to get the results that you want and how are you going to transform them. So for us, we do the email, and that's what we think works best. So creating the content so that it can be delivered via email and setting up our schedule for when the emails are going to go out, the images that we need to go along with it, because that's part of your content too. It's just not your copy, it's your images and the copy together and how they work. And then step 5 is you need to decide which platform will give your community the best results for the challenge. And that's where I was sharing a little bit about you doing it through your email list. But we also know that there's people in our community that live on Instagram, and they're not interested in getting our daily emails or signing up for our weekly emails. And so we also have a way where we can do our challenge through Instagram. But we always make sure that they know in all the copy that they should sign up for our free challenge. So we're always pushing them to sign up for our list. But even if they don't, they're still going to get daily green smoothie recipes through Instagram. And I also talked to you about when we promote our challenge. The key peak that we've learned, especially since using Facebook ads lately, because before we just did it organically and just would promote whenever, but we've learned that 5 days before our challenge starts, and even up to 5 days after it starts, is when the peak amount of people are opting into our challenge. So just because it starts on day 1, don't stop promoting it. Don't stop telling friends about it. Let them know they can still join, because you will be surprised how many people do not mind showing up late for the party. So welcome them in, bring them in late, and just have them join the party with you. Okay. So now don't forget, when your challenge goes live, these are some things that we've learned over time and kind of have a checklist to help us with. But first is you want to go through and clean up your social media account. And so that means if you're starting to promote your 30-day challenge, you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward on every social media front. So this is making sure that your brand story is very clear throughout, so your community really knows what you're about. So get rid of any pictures of you and your kids if it doesn't relate to your business, or a vacation you took. All of those are great to share just for our personal feelings, but when it comes to growing your business, it's time to clean it up when you're really pushing hard to promote growth. You also want to make sure that your Facebook banner is acting as a billboard for your free challenge. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to grow through a free banner. Then also figure out what you're going to do for your giveaway. And Jada shared with you how we've done our blender in a book. And we do this in the middle of our giveaway because we always hit a lull. And this is like a point where people are kind of losing interest. They're not quite sure if this is for them or not. But then we do an awesome giveaway, and it builds momentum. It gets people excited again, and it keeps them going to get through the 30 days. You can also think of creating a digital companion guide as a way to promote other products or supplement part of your challenge. So what we do now is we have a $5 recipe book that goes along with our challenge. So they can sign up for free and do the challenge, or they can also pay $5 and get every single recipe for the 30 days all at once, instead of having to wait for our weekly emails with a shopping list and recipes. So it is a free challenge, but there's a way for them to buy in to get a little bit more quicker. And then you also need to make sure that you have all hands on deck to love up on your community. So even if you started at 2,000 people like we did, or 0 from the beginning, you need to make sure that your schedules are clear during your challenge to cover the amount of growth that you're going to have, because it can get crazy. And during that January challenge, because we had grown to over 20,000 people on our email lists that quickly, we couldn't handle it ourselves. So my husband actually jumped in and was taking shifts with us to go onto Facebook and comment and respond to messages. So we brought people in to make sure that we were constantly loving on our community no matter what. And then the last thing that we recommend is once your 30-day or 10-day challenge is over, that you create an exit survey and a testimonial form. And this is a way for them to share their thoughts and let them know that you really care about how this went for them and you value their feedback. And you'll take whatever they share with you and you can use it to tweak for your next challenge. And if it went really well, or you were able to gather some great testimonials, you can put that on your challenge landing page now to build credibility. All right, and quickly I want to go through some lessons that we learned with our challenge. So this is just being real and letting you know what we've learned over, how many years now have we done it? Since 2012, 13, 14, 15, 4 years of challenges, is do not make your challenge longer than it needs to be. Even if it sounds great doing 30 days, if the transformation happens in 10 days, that's all it needs to be. give them that win wherever it happens, short and sweet. Another one is you want to build out your challenge with the intention of it going evergreen. So the less work you have to do over time, the better on your free challenge, because you want to invest your time and energy into creating products and building out your brand in different ways instead of always being reinvested in your challenge. And so that's why Jada mentioned to you that we do 4 challenges a year, but they repeat. So 2012, the challenge, all 4 of those are the same as 2013, all of the challenges. So we do, January has kind of like a winter theme. The April challenge has spring fruits. July challenge has summer fruits with watermelon. And then October has more of the fall ones like sweet potato. So we keep those consistent every year. So it changes, but it's the same every 4 challenges, if that makes sense. All right, another lesson we learned is invite affiliates to be a part of this. It's such an easy sell for your friends and other business partners to promote something that's totally free. And we've done this with a couple affiliates who've been really excited to promote our free 30-day challenge. And the way that we do it is they promote the challenge for free, but they get a percentage of whatever product our community buys during with their cookies. So they can promote as hard as they want for a free challenge, bring people onto our list. We groom them and love them. And if they end up buying something, then our affiliate benefits from it as well. And it's gone really great for them, and we've built great relationships because of this. And then the last lesson for us is it is really smart to use Facebook ads to promote your free challenge. We've gotten super low cost per leads by promoting our free challenge versus promoting a paid product. So we're saving lots of money and able to grow our list by promoting the free challenge because Facebook is really happy with free challenges right now.
Awesome. So now I want to talk about how we nurture our tribe and how you can nurture your tribe as well. This is really the heartbeat of our community, and the first step is really to attract your tribe and then build your list and also nurture them. So once they're on your list and in your community, how do you really take care and love up on your tribe? So one thing that we like to follow is no comment left behind, especially when you're first building out your social media platforms and your email list, that you respond to every comment, every email that comes in, just to show that you're a real person behind your business. And it's a great way to ramp up lifelong brand ambassadors from the very beginning. So I definitely had frantic fingers on double tapping, liking, and engaging with our community on Instagram and responding to website comments and Facebook comments. It also pushes your feed up back to the top. It's like on Facebook where people can start paying attention to what you're posting. Another thing that we like to do is surprise and delight. So how could you surprise and delight your community? One thing that we have our community happiness specialists do is we give them the opportunity once a month to pick one community rock star that they are just rocking it, positive energy, shared a really cool post or photo, and they'll privately message them and offer them a $25 gift card to Amazon or Target. Sometimes we surprise them with our books and just get their addresses and send them love. So how could you surprise and delight your community once they're in your world? And I want to share an example of one thing where we surprised and delighted our community member that didn't cost us any money. We had a woman named Joanne who posted that she was a breast cancer survivor, and she was just, she also bought our Fresh Start 21-day cleanse, and she shared the date that she was actually having her final surgery. And so what our team did on our weekly team hangouts is we came together and actually recorded a video just for Joanne and emailed it to her on her surgery day. And she was just blown away. She actually ended up posting it publicly on our Simple Green Smoothies Facebook page, just thanking us and feeling so loved up by us. So this is a great way to surprise and delight your community without even having to spend any money. And so another thing that we do from our video hangouts is we check in weekly, and we also have leafy love notes. So every Friday, our community happiness specialists actually gather all of their favorite comments, testimonials, post on Facebook, Instagram, our website, and emails, and put them all together in one email that they share with our team internally. So every Friday, we get an email that says Friday Love Notes, showing all of the comments coming from our tribe. And this reminds us why we do what we do, and it really ends our week on a really happy note. So I highly encourage you to find ways to stay motivated and positive. Sometimes we get stuck around how many people are unsubscribing from our list, or this bad email came in and now you're down in the slumps. This really allows you to have a very positive mindset at the end of your work week. And I love something that Jen said recently is that you can't have a happy tribe without a happy team. And so this is our team that really loves up on our community and really keeping them happy and engaged and empowered to really support and love up on our community. And I just love that so much. So just making sure that the people that you bring into your world to support your business are feeling just as loved up as you love and nurture your community.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we are on to the last section, you guys. So we're wrapping up, so get your Q&As ready, and I will dive in to share with you about our Rawesome products. So part of building your tribe and brand ambassadors is creating things that they're actually excited to use and tell other people about. And we do that with not only our free 30-day challenge, but every product that we create at Simple Green Smoothies. And how we do that is we sell them transformation. And so here's a graphic that Jada pulled up, and she shared in so many of her amazing keynote speeches. And I think it's just super powerful and a great way for you to think about what you can create for your community and sell that will actually get them excited to tell other people too. So you've got to look at little Mario, and this is your potential customer. And little Mario is never happy being little. Like, we always want him to be like the firepower one or the guy with the tail that flies in Super Mario 3. But to get there, something has to change. And here it is. It has to be the flower power. So, and that is your product. So once little Mario gets your product, gets his flower power, he's able to do some rad shit. And that's what we are selling to our community, is that transformation. So what we have to ask them whenever we're getting ready to create a new product is we ask them, what are you struggling with the most right now? And this is a question that we do in our emails to them when we send our weekly newsletters. Probably, it just depends. Whenever we're getting ready to create something new, we always stop and poll our community to see what they need. And we've learned that if we do this on Instagram or Facebook, where it's more of a public social place, we don't get the kind of answers that actually help us create the product. So when we get to the initial stage of product creation, we go straight to our email list, which is why it's really powerful to build up your email list and ask them this question and go through the responses and see what they're struggling with and create your first product around that. And so an example that we did was right after that first January 30-day green smoothie challenge, as we were wrapping up for it, we were asking our community, so what did you think? Did you like it? Because we don't know what we're doing, pretty much. And some of the comments that we got back were like, wow, this was awesome. I wish I could share it with a friend. I wish I could buy it. Like, I want to have this so I can do it again. The recipes were great. Like, I love the shopping lists. And so they wanted to buy something from us. Like, they were asking us, like, can I buy this? And I know Jada mentioned to you earlier that we thought about actually selling our challenge, our live challenge, and having it be something you have to buy into. But we decided against that. But what we realized was we could take that January 30-day challenge and package it up as a PDF and sell it to those that had just completed the challenge because they were asking for it. And so this was our first product that we ever created. It was our $5 30-day green smoothie challenge ebook. And as you can tell, we were very timid about pricing at that time. And so $5 was about all we could muster to ask them to pay for something that they had just done for free. But when we put it out there to our community, after they had specifically asked for it, we were able to make, I think it was, wasn't it over $12,000 in 10 days, or it was super fast.
Yeah, we did $8,000 in that first week for sure. and then it just increased. It increased beyond the 7 days, but that's the number that I definitely have in my head.
Okay. Yeah, and so you can see if you ask your community what they want and create something for them, they are primed to buy. They're excited to buy. And I mean, we just nurtured them so much with our free challenge, and they knew they could trust us and that we were creating value and transformation. And they're brand ambassadors at this point, and they're willing to spend money and invest in your company. And we've done this again and again. And another product that we did it for was Fresh Start 21. So after a couple more challenges, we asked them what they were struggling with. And we learned it was that they wanted to go beyond just drinking green smoothies. Like they felt like they got that it was a habit now. But they wanted to learn how to cook meals that were healthy and eat food besides green smoothies. And so we created Fresh Start 21, which is a 21-day plant-based cleanse where every morning starts with a green smoothie, but then we also teach them how to make whole food lunches, like with Rossum tacos that have cashew cream cheese, like fake cheese on it, and they're so good. And this has been our #1 best-selling product for 3.5 years now, and it's grossed over $1 million in sales. So if you can really tap into that flower power for your community of what product and what can create that transformation, you can be really not just transforming their lives, but creating a business that is making you money so that you can continue to do what you love to do and changing the world. And so we always like to say that for every dollar that someone spends at SGS, it also means that they said yes to their health. So it's not just about making money to us. It's about changing the world and getting people healthier one day at a time. So as you're working on building up your own tribe and growing these brand ambassadors, like we just hope that you have been able to see that what we've done since 2012 with 0 followers and $0, what you can do if you're very intentional with who you're reaching out to, how you're talking to them, what visuals you're showing them, and also what products you're creating for them as you create a world-changing movement. So I would love to open it up for Q&A. Is that good, Todd?
That is outstanding. You ladies rock. I mean, nothing but positive juju and love from everybody inside the comments here. Everyone just thank you so much. And so, quick question for you. The avatar that you had built out, the photo of the artsy mama with the camera, have you actually met any of your clients or customers who closely matched that avatar?
Todd, it's actually crazy because when we created that avatar, we did a blender giveaway like a few weeks after creating this person, D-A-N-I, Danny. And one of the women that entered the giveaway, she was a mom who had a blog, had 3 kids, and entered our giveaway in the video, and it was a video entry. So we actually saw her name, D-A-N-I, and we definitely chose her as one of the winners because we were like, this dream client avatar work actually works. And also one of our new copywriters on our team, her name is Danny, D-A-N-I, and she has the Simple Green Smoothies voice down to a T, and we're just like, we've definitely met the Dannys of Simple Green Smoothies.
That's awesome. And then one of the questions that came in was, how do you do this for a service like law, security, or insurance? Like a really traditional service-based business where, in this case you can make, in your case you can make smoothies and everything look just visually stunning. And, a few of the comments were, I just want to eat your webpage. So how would you think about building out like a challenge? And not even that, people not think about trying to put square pegs in round holes either, but, just thoughts on tribe building around those two types of businesses.
That's a good question. So you said between the law and security, is that what you were?
Yeah, they put security, but I mean, even if it's law or insurance or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I would do is you have to start with your avatar, figure out who the person is, either in law or the security that you're trying to reach and change their lives, and figure out what's that first transformation that you can do for them, something small. And I mean, in the law world, something that came to mind for me was just, even like helping, something that would benefit me is like, what are those 3 first steps that I need to do to trademark something or figure out what is trademarkable? So it's like creating a challenge around one specific topic like that where it can bring them in, because we're all kind of scared that someone could take over our trademark or like trump us out in that way. So bring us into that and educate us through that small challenge, but then open us up into this larger world that's beyond that with law.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that people can get into their heads is that at the end of the day, like law or insurance, those are support-based businesses for other businesses as well. Like, let's say if your legal practice is based around helping out, business owners or, those people, or if you sell like business type insurance. So don't get so stuck in that, oh, what are my services that I sell that I can dovetail into a challenge? But think about what is the business owner cares about. Well, most business owners care about, just like everyone here, they care about maybe growing their audience or attracting more visibility or more leads, converting more people, building out systems so that they're not working so hard. So you could be thinking about what are the steps that people take before they even get to me. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you're a legal practice, I mean, typically you're going to want successful businesses. So then whatever you do to help other businesses be successful, and it doesn't have to be around you helping with their law type of thing, but it's the affinity effect. Oh, that law firm helped me scale up my business. Well, of course, just by proxy, maybe I'll think about using that law firm.
Absolutely. And I love that, Todd, and that is one of the things is like, what the gateway drug, like what is it that they need to like open up and be like, okay, now my next step is your service and your offering.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen this, I know one of the other questions, let me just try and find it here. Yeah. If you have a brick and mortar fitness franchise, 2 physical locations of a bigger franchise, would you still do a free online fitness challenge to grow your list and build community? I know Betty Rocker is doing this and think it's a great idea and a great way to reach a greater number of people. So I put on my list as a Friday night project because core focus and goals is based on my brick and mortar business. Do you think it would create confusion within my local community if I offer free online challenges, or would it help them lead into the brick and mortar eventually? We do challenges that are a small investment for people to join us in the brick and mortar, but I believe I can justify the differences. Do you see any reason why I wouldn't run a free online challenge without an online product to offer? The goal would be to convert them to a physical location. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. I'm gonna run with this one first.
Okay. Then I have a case study example because one of my best friends.
Okay. Well, I'll let you talk about your best friend then.
Okay. So yes, you can definitely do a challenge if you have a brick and mortar business. My best friend owns a boutique yoga studio actually out here in Walnut Creek that I go to, and I told her about challenges, and she does a 28-day self-love challenge. And the results that she's gotten from that, you will get some people that are not super close and super local because people will share the challenge because it's online with their friends, but you will create so much more engagement as long as you are emailing your local email list to participate in the challenge. People start talking about it inside the walls of where you're having your space, but they're also sharing it with friends. And my friend did, she did the free challenge, and then and she also did a scholarship for this $1,500 group in-person program that she was doing. And out of the 10 people out of the 15 people who signed up for this $1,500 in-person group program were actually participated in the challenge. So it not only creates more engagement and just community live and in real time participating together, but it also, again, like we said, primes people to buy what you have to offer as that next step in transformation. So I highly encourage you to do a challenge that could be online, be email-based, but also funnel people into an offering that you have in your brick-and-mortar business.
Yeah, I think one thing that, and I forget who actually asked the question because I copy and pasted the comments out of GoToWebinar to make it easier on myself, but one thing I know that you got to be careful with is because you do have you're a franchisee, there might be limitations as to what you can do online or whatever, but I think one thing that, again, this is about seeing the content of what Jen and Jada has presented for what it truly is. I mean, so many people, and I know people do this because they get inside these online programs and they go, oh, well, these online businesses or these coaches or, people who are building out programs seem to dominate the conversation, so all of us brick and mortar people kind of get left behind. But there are truths and elements to this that can easily be translated into your local community. And so while Jen and Jada have done a fantastic job of building an online tribe of people, I honestly think that the most rewarding type of tribe you could ever build from a visceral, experiential, human level is a local tribe. Nothing is more powerful from a feedback level than having someone in your local community or people in your local community constantly come up to you when you're in the grocery store or whether you're at the auto repair shop, say thank you for doing the, whatever you are doing. So think of it from a community level. What could you be doing in your community that is a bigger idea, a bigger movement beyond what your service or your business provides? Because, ultimately, look at the examples that Jen and Jada were even sharing with Tom Shoes or other businesses that have built movements around them. They are thinking about the bigger idea. What is the bigger idea behind my business other than shoes? Or Zappos. Zappos is a website or an e-commerce website at that sells shoes and other products. But that isn't what they're about. They are about culture at the very core of who they are, about providing a workplace that's not only fun but serves the intrinsic needs of the people who come and work there. So think about your community, and are there other businesses that you could get involved inside of a challenge that could move your community forward, whether it's Topeka, Kansas, or Peterborough, Ontario?
Mm-hmm. Can I jump in and add one last thing? Because I know she mentioned that she's concerned about having this physical location where she does a challenge that people are paying for, and then also creating an online free challenge.
Yeah.
And wondering if there's going to be backlash or how that works. And one thing I suggest thinking about is any challenge you create is really a product suite. So even if it's free or if they're paying for it, it really is a product. And it's great practice to go through and kind of map out all of your products and figure out what is unique about them and make sure they are different enough to stand on their own and justify one being free because it's online, they're not getting personal support from you, versus this one that you're doing in your studio where they're paying for it because they're having direct access to you. So highlighting those key components of each product is going to help you feel more confident when you're selling it to them and letting them know why this one's paid and why this one's free.
I think that's a great distinction to remind people that a free something is still a product.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're still investing time and dollars into the creation of it just like you would a regular paid product. Okay, so your first big growth, how were you promoting it? Like that first time when you put out your first challenge, how many people did you have on your email list or your social media following when you first did that challenge?
We had 2,000 people on our email list, and I think we probably had about 30,000 on Instagram. Do you think that's right, Jada?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say...
Yeah, so how much time did it take for you to get to that 2,000 and that 30,000 before you even launched it?
The 2,000 actually came from partially family spend, our community that we built before. We told them about our new website, told them to opt in, so we brought them over from that. And then people from Instagram coming to our email list.
So we started Instagram in July of 2012. So in I would say like 5 months is when we started that first challenge. So and Simple Green Smoothies was actually never supposed to be its own business or its own website, Instagram, so we didn't have a website that they were going to, which I think is a great reminder that even though you already have the product in mind that you want to sell, that you have to really deliver and give value up front to really build that momentum And so for those 5 months before we had a website and we didn't have a product, we were just giving and adding so much value. We were doing a lot of jabbing for months before any right hooks ever came. And that also gave us a lot of insight and intel of the type of people that were attracted to our message, to our brand, that then we could create a product. But without that community, without that audience, without that market research that we were able to do with the people that we had, it would have been a lot more harder to create that product for them.
Yeah, so looking back, because I mean, while you've built up this huge community quite quickly, is there anything that you would have simplified or done differently, or what mistake that, when looking back, you would take away that could have accelerated the growth and even helped out on the revenue side of things?
Honestly, no. for the growth side, because we grew really, it was expansive, and I will say that I was only posting content on Instagram 2 to 3 times a week, and I was engaging with other Instagram accounts and the followers that in that community. So instead of trying to overproduce content to be more engaging with the community than you are putting information and noise out, if that makes sense. So in our previous business, we were writing 3 to 5 blog posts a week, and we were doing guest posts and all of these different things, and that did not move the needle. What moved the needle for us was adding really high valuable content on our Instagram 2 to 3 times a week and engaging with the community. So those are kind of the 2 secret sauces that we really created. And so, like I said, we had that blog that did not take off. That gave us some insight and intel to what wasn't working. And so I would say overproducing content just to overproduce content is a time waster for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a great distinction.
I was going to say the same thing as Jada. Those first 2 years, there's nothing that I would have done differently. And I think it's important to note that we had no business game plan for Simple Green Smoothies. When we started it, we were so flexible and open day by day for what was happening. And so a lot of times we have this vision of our business, and we put ourselves in a box of what it's going to be, and you limit yourself so much by doing that. So for us, as growth happened and as we saw people being excited about something, we were willing to flex and move in that direction. And you also mentioned, Todd, how did we start that first 30-day challenge and get 30,000 people on our email list? And what we did was we asked them to share our challenge with their friends and family. We went out to our community that we had built through Instagram by sharing free recipes 3 times a week, and we just let them know, we have this challenge that we want to try. Can you please tag your friends in the comment below? Let them know about it. Invite them to it. Share it with your friends. And because we had already grown and built this relationship with them, they were so excited to share it with their friends, and that's how we got 30,000 people on our list.
Yeah. This is I might have to unbuckle this from the bonus area of the night and we're going to have to sell this on its own. It's such a great presentation. So here's one from, where is it? Sarah Brown asked, I teach entrepreneurs how to make videos and shine on camera. I've got an opt-in out there that is designed to help them confront their negative on-camera mindsets, but I'm thinking that it may be smart to do another more transformative challenge. Just not sure what level of transformation to aim for. If I get them comfy on camera, then they won't need to hire me. LOL, thoughts? What do you think, ladies?
Oh, so honestly, you can't be afraid to give value and transformation to people, because when you give them that transformation up front, they are just like, what's next? So how can you reverse engineer what your service, your video service offering is? But there's such a big hurdle for people to jump over to even want to do video. And so if you even did a 5-day video challenge and you actually created a private Facebook group because again, that step 5 was choose the best platform to do your challenge on. And so for videos, people are already freaked out, and they definitely don't want like Facebook and Instagram friends and followers to see them posting videos. So you could start internally in a private, sacred Facebook group where they're doing some type of free challenge and just posting one simple prompt a day, or the same topic, each day until they feel stronger and confident, and then your product could upsell into them doing videos publicly where friends, family, and fans can actually see them post later. You're going to hold their hands and kind of help them do it publicly, but in your challenge, it could be private and safe to get them over that hurdle of being afraid to do any video whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is you curating a group where they know that it's going to be a safe place for them to come in, contribute whatever video it is to it, but then also think about it in the context of maybe you're not teaching them how to just get over the fear of getting on camera. One of the byproducts of them getting over the fear of camera is maybe your 5-day challenge or 7-day challenge is just about, hey, how to get great at the first 10 seconds of video. Because anyone who's in the content space online knows that that's the most important part of your video. If you can't hook somebody in the first 7 seconds, then you've lost them. They've clicked away from your video on YouTube or Facebook, wherever it is. So, you can also dial it down to just the micro parts of the video, and that doesn't mean that you're giving away the farm on what it is that you teach. And by the way, trust me, from the person who's done some big online launches, the more content that you put out there that's amazing, the more people you can buy. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So, yeah. Another question was, do you keep the challenge Facebook groups going or shut them down after the challenge?
We actually host our challenge on our Facebook page. So we don't have a private group in Facebook where they go to. They just join us on our site and on our Instagram account. And then we send them the weekly emails with the shopping list and recipe cards through that. So we don't do private Facebook groups for each challenge.
I'm trying to find one last question because I told both of you that we'd have a hard end time of 90 minutes. I'm trying to hunt through because there's so many just like, you guys are amazing, this is an awesome presentation, you guys rock. Yeah. Some people are spelling rock stars wrong, but that's okay. Okay, so I guess a final question is, if the challenges are now evergreen, do you still have any kind of live component to them, or are they totally automated?
They are definitely not automated. We shoot for evergreen, but we've never gotten it fully there. And that's okay because, like we want that connection with them still. So how we send out our shopping list is it goes out once a week on Thursdays, but every year the days change. So like April 1st is not always on a Thursday or on a Monday. So every challenge we are constantly tweaking our shopping list to make sure that they're just buying the right ingredients for that week's worth of produce and recipes. So it still does take a lot of time on our team's part to create it, but it keeps us in tune with what we're doing. So we are always present and aware of what's going on.
Yeah. Well, ladies, you guys have dropped some awesome tips and strategies on how to build up a tribe, and more importantly than just building a tribe, because I think it's one thing to build a tribe, but it's another thing to know how to actually nurture the tribe. And you guys have done an absolutely outstanding job at demonstrating just how you think about that business process inside your business. So one final question for you is, Jen, what's one thing that you're really excited about in the next year for the business?
Ooh. The business.
Or the brand, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like we have so much potential right now. What am I most excited about? I'm starting to do more public speaking, and I really want to take Simple Green Smoothies into the White House and get green smoothies into classrooms and in cafeterias for breakfast and just impact children's lives more so. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Jada?
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing, like getting blenders into every classroom and getting Michelle Obama on board because she does all of the healthy eating and lunches. So if anyone knows Michelle, you just let her know about Jen and Jada at Simple Green Smoothies. And I would also just say really just building out, kind of automating some of our winning products so that we have more space and bandwidth to create even more products and offerings for our community. So really building up, like Jen was saying, that product suite is like making sure we're having touch points and that our community feels really taken care of because they really trust our word and what we say and what we share. And so we just want to make sure that we're creating the best information, the best products for them and automating some of the things that have already worked so that that is like able to get into as many hands as possible and creating more space for creation for new things.
Well, there's no doubt that you two will be able to do all that stuff. So, yes, just like Jen had said, and Jada, if you do know Michelle Obama and the crew, and reach out and let them know how they can get in touch. But you two truly do rock. Thank you so much for being so generous with not only your time, but also putting the presentation together. Because, for those of you who don't know, I mean, this isn't something that they do as a business. And so, those of you who have had to do slide decks before, you know how much time that it takes in order to put something together like this. And they did this all for the night of your crew and for myself. So I really appreciate it. And hope you guys have a fantastic Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Rock on, you guys.
Thanks, ladies.